Hey viewers, welcome to another game of the Casual Pro Gamer. Today we are once again doing a game between AcerNerchio as the Zerg in the bottom right and QnateksYz as the Zerg in the top left. Ah man, that name. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, ZvsZ, this is game number 2 out of their best of 3. I'm not going to spoil whether there's a game 3 or not, because I don't know! So, even if there's a no game 3, so even if it's over in 2 games, I will put up a game 3. So, just an anti-spoiler video then, but otherwise just the game. I don't know yet, because I don't want to know. Yeah, of course I could have looked whether there was a game 3, but I'm just doing them one at a time. So anyway, if you haven't seen game 1 yet, you should probably do that, because I might discuss some of the tactics and maybe even who won. Probably not. But yeah, it is ZvsZ, so the tactics could go either way. But anyway, if you haven't seen game 1, go watch it. Otherwise, it's your own mistake, man. Or woman, whatever. I don't know who watches these games. Anyway, we have the spawning pool coming up. We should have a spawning pool coming up on this side as well. But he is going for the hatchery first, which is risky, but if you can hold off the early pressure, then yeah, you can do very well with that. So obviously it's going to take a little bit for them to draw equal, so for first of all this guy to make a spawning pool, because well, he had to pay for the 300 for this, and this guy to get his expansion up, because he had to pay 200 for the spawning pool. So there's a little bit of a difference there of about 30 seconds, and in those 30 seconds this guy can actually produce his Zerglings to attack the expansion, where this guy doesn't have his Zerglings yet. So it's going to be risky, but most of the times it does pay off for the guy who builds his expansion first. Although it does pay off means that yeah, he doesn't lose his expansion. That's what I wanted to say. So it's not that he wins, it's just that he doesn't lose his expansion. And sometimes it's kind of an equal trait, the early pressure, because, well, you destroy some, or you get some time from the drones, because they are taking off the mining to defend the base, and yeah, that's just the way it works then. So you trade some time from the workers against the time that, well, it took for you to get your expansion up, and then it's equal on both sides again. So even though you're not going for like the full pressure to try to destroy this hatchery, you're still getting your money's worth from your Zerglings. Anyway, it seems that there is no early pressure. It seems that they're just going to hang around and do nothing. And it is the red player then who is at a disadvantage economically, because he didn't really use his well, army presence, or well, potential army presence to well, to put pressure on this enemy player. Anyway, most of the games are still decided by something way bigger than whether you expand first or you you put your spawning pool down first. So most of the time it's a fight that just doesn't go one way, or well, doesn't go the loser's way. And it seems that they're chasing after the Zergling like they want to catch it. That's their dearest dream. But no, they're actually going for the base. And wow, look at that, the speed completes, and you saw the immediate boost there in speed, and yeah, that defense was pretty nice. So all of the drones surrounding that that spine crawler, just to make sure that it didn't get killed by, or it didn't get surrounded by the Zerglings. And wow, here are the banelings The banelings are going to take out the drones, but there are no drones, and most of them do suicide on the units there, or on the spine crawler, and yeah, none of them get through. All of the Zerglings go down. So, and here you see a much bigger advantage than whether or not you put down your hatchery first. He took out the entire army without losing anything, because he built those roaches. The roaches, of course, are very good against banelings and Zerglings because they don't take a whole lot of damage from them. The damage is reduced by a significant amount because they are armored units. And yeah, once again, we have Zerglings coming in versus roaches. The roaches should be able to win this pretty handily, but it is of course all about not losing the drones, and he is going to defend this side of the mineral line with by just placing his roaches down, and you can see how effective this is. He did lose a little bit of his economy, I suppose, but it is really not worth the amount of stuff that he just lost. So, oh, actually 0 workers killed, so I didn't even get to do that. And yeah, look at this, 2 evolution chambers, meaning that this is the only gap he can get through with his Zerglings, and he's going to just wall that off with roaches, and everything will be okay. The AcerNerchio here, our red Zerg player, he knows that he's ahead. He knows he is far ahead, and he just all he has to do, as you can see, he is far ahead. He's about 1100 mineral resources ahead, and he knows that all he needs to do is not lose. As long as he doesn't lose, it should all be fine. So 3 roaches over here to just hold off this, 1 over here to hold off any pressures here, and the rest is over here just to yeah, to hold them off when they come running in, and then he can close up this gap whenever he wants. But these are just here to make sure that nothing gets through. So even if he's not paying attention, nothing will get through. And yeah, so this base is totally safe. On the other side, yeah, we see that this guy has to invest now in the roach warren, and is probably building roaches. Yep, there you go. Building some roaches. Of course, that is the only strategy he has here, because the only thing that works against roaches are roaches. And yeah, he is quite significantly behind. The movement speed coming up, and yeah, both of them researching that. Carapace level 1, missile attacks level 1, almost completed for the red Zerg. It will be completed by the time he arrives in the enemy base, but he has so many roaches. And if we look at the unit stab, it's 31 versus 13, and yeah, this is not going to be close. The Zerglings are going to come in to try to help out, but they are not doing enough damage to those roaches, and this is going to be over right here, right now, because there is nothing he can do if he loses his roaches. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. So a few more roaches coming up. He has more eggs that are coming up, but yeah, look at this stream on the minimap. There's just a huge amount of roaches streaming in, and it is still 30 versus 6 now. And yeah, both of them have 5 in production, so yeah, it's not close. It looks close for them, but it's not close. There are just too many roaches coming in. He still had defense here. Well, it's not actually defense if you send them out, but yeah, just way better play from our red player. Not so much in positioning or anything like that, it's just all unit composition. Straight going to roaches, walling off his base with the roaches first, then completely annihilating that army over here, and then walling off his base with 2 evolution chambers. Just great play. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG.